Uplifted Noise. My name's Raul. If you haven't been to this channel, what I do here is MPC live tutorials, beat making videos, and samples. I share those every once in a while, but it's been a little bit since I've actually shared a tutorial, so thank you to 005 Dynasty for his suggestion on this one. And he's also doing content on YouTube with the MPC live, so I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description. Go ahead and go check him out. But I did my 10-week beat challenge in order to learn some things about actually finishing my beats, and I developed a formula for creating arrangements. Now, arrangements in the MPC consist of a few sequences strung together within song mode, but in order for those sequences to sound good together, it's important you take a few steps so that those sequences transition smoothly in between one another. But today specifically is about creating an interesting intro sequence that hopefully creates a bit of impact by using automation and creating somewhat of a drop before the hook comes in. All right, so everything begins with a main sequence, which ends up being my hook sequence. It has everything layered on top of each other, and so that sounds like this. So I will take this whole main idea, copy it, and create an intro sequence. I'll mute out a bunch of the tracks like the drums, the bass, and leave something very simple that sounds like this. And that'll lead into the hook, right? And that sounds fine, but I've been experimenting with some things and I really like what I've come up with. So what I'll do is I'm going to take this hook sequence and resample it, go into the looper, and I'm going to set my input to resample. Alright, so clear that out. I don't need it anymore. So now I have my sample. So from here I want to put it on a pad. I'm going to set it here. Okay. And then I'm going to go to, I'm going to go to effects. And I'm going to add an air kill EQ. Go with the pencil, and I'm going to completely cut out the highs and the lows until I get a sound that sounds like this. Alright, so from out here, I am going to sequence it onto my track. I'm going to put on solo because I just want to hear this for now. Alright, so from here I'm going to menu, program edit, and I'm going to look at the filter tab, filter envelopes. Okay, and now you can mess around with different types of filters. And make sure my Q-link is set. So it's set right there. And I'm looking at the cutoff, okay? So if I turn this all the way to the left and hit play, I'm not going to hear anything. But if I start to bring the cutoff up, you hear this filter kind of sweeping. So that could be cool. Or I'll try a high pass filter. And if I hit play, you don't hear much. And then I can bring that in. So I'm going to mess around with something like this, but I also want to set, I want to turn the automation on. Alright, so this is my automation. When it's red and it's got a W, that means it's ready to write automation information. And when I'm done writing information, I want to set it to the green with R, which means read, so it'll play back all the automation that I've created. So I'm going to turn it on to write. I like the high pass, kind of bring in some of the stuff, so I'm going all the way to 127, and then I am just going to play my sequence and turn when I kind of create this build of using this high pass filter and kind of bring in some more of the lows or more of the mid-range, because I really did cut out like most of the lows and highs. So let's try this real quick. Okay, so I'll put it back on read, playing it back. So it could be a little bit smoother. You just got to get a good little kind of rhythm to it, build it up. Okay. So another thing I like to do is, notice I put it on solo. I have some stuff sequenced on here, right? So I took out the drums, I took out the bass, but I had pretty much all this. And I feel like that can sound good layered with the hook sequence that I resampled and then automated the filter sweep on. So I'll meet those and play them both. I don't necessarily like the way I did the automation, so I am going to, well, I can go to menu, list edit, and then I can see all of the automation information that I created, and I can delete all of it easily. I can delete parts of it by just, delete, but okay, automation's gone. I'm going to try it again, but I want to try it with all this playing, right? With all this playing, I can get a better idea of what it's going to sound like. So, all right, here we go. Alright, so once I got a nice little automation of that filter, I can leave it as is, or there's some other things I could do. For one example, I could go into LFO modulation and create a mute group. So I've got a pad with no sample on it, but it corresponds to the same mute group. And so I could go and play this and then program in a mute group towards the end. Towards the end of the sequence, so that it creates kind of a drop before the hook comes in. So let's hear what that might sound like. Yeah, so I'm going to do overdub. Another suggestion I'd have would be to automate the volume of your tracks towards the ending of your intro sequence. So the volume, turn it down a bit so it creates more of a build up. When the hook finally hits and the beat drops, it creates more of an impact. So yeah, that's it. Thanks y'all for joining me. I'm going to play the sequence for you one more time and let the intro go ahead and lead into the hook. In the meanwhile, y'all stay humble, lift noise. God bless.